What's up, y'all? I'm coming to y'all. Y'all already know what time it is. First off, today is my 32nd birthday. I'm grateful to God for his mercy and his grace and just like keeping me, loving me, being gracious to me, and allowing me to just be here another year. But we gonna get straight to it. So, I know some people probably were wondering, why did I choose a picture of a car that looked like it had been smashed in and pretty much like wrecked. And if you all listened to the second half of the song, I talked about the one part where it says, like, when you stop that truck from hitting me and my family, I can't count how many times you've been good to me. You got up on the third day and that was just for me. Lord, I give my life to you. Yeah, wash me clean. When I think about all that you've done for me, my soul can't help crying out, thanks for saving me. So that picture of that car is actually the car that me and my family rode in. So it was 2019, January 27th to be exact. Actually the 28th, I'm sorry. Me, my wife Taylor, and my daughter, who was 2.5 at the time, my daughter Amira, we were in our Chevy Malibu, the one that you see in the picture, and we were on our way out here to Arizona from Cleveland, Ohio. We had just prayed. We had thanked God for his traveling mercies and keeping us, and asking him to keep us as we traveled further. We were departing from Little Rock, Arkansas. We had drove all the way from Cleveland to Little Rock, Arkansas, all in one day. And it was just time. Like, you know, we were ready to go. We were refreshed. We had slept. We ate breakfast. We were feeling good. And we made our way. Well, as we made our transition and as we were moving along, we made it to Oklahoma. And we were beginning our journey of traveling 800 miles through all of Oklahoma to eventually cross and go down towards like Texas and New Mexico to get to Arizona. And in the midst of that drive, me and Taylor, we were, you know, watching the road. I was driving, and we kept seeing this sign that says, "Do not impede on the left lane." And if I can, I'll post a picture somewhere on the screen so you guys can see what that looks like, just in case if you guys ever take a road trip and you happen to go through Oklahoma. And so we kept seeing that sign for miles and miles, and we were just like, man, what the heck does that mean? Like, what is that about? And so we finally looked it up, and Taylor was like, oh my gosh, babe, we've been driving illegally this whole time. I was like, what do you mean? She was like, dude, that do not impede on the left lane basically means that, like, you can only use the left lane as a passing lane, which means everybody should be on the right side of this lane. And if you need to pass and go around a car, you use that left lane to do so. So we were like, holy crap, oh my God, okay. So I get over and I proceed to, you know, ride the right lane. Well, we got to a area where traffic was starting to build up a little bit more. And at this point where we were, traffic had pretty much come to a stop. And so I was slowing down. I was approaching the car that was ahead of me. And as I was doing so, I don't know what put it on her mind to look, but Taylor happened to look back and there was a car coming behind us. And Taylor was like, oh my God, babe, she's not stopping. She's not stopping. Babe, she's not stopping. And before we knew it, I told everybody to brace themselves. I held onto the steering wheel, and a woman proceeded to plow into the back of our car at 70 miles per hour. Now, the picture that you all see on the cover art, I'm also going to include the pictures with this story. The pictures that you all are going to see is her essentially hitting the back area exactly where Amira was sitting, and also where our gas tank happened to be as well too. So not only did God save us that first time when we got hit, because technically as fast as she was going, there was enough friction there to have blown up our gas tank. But then our car proceeded to spin around into the middle of traffic. Now at this point, because traffic is at a complete stop, you got semi trucks driving and all of these different things. And so we're in the middle of the road, and as I look up and as Taylor looks up, there is a truck that is carrying either some gasoline or something. All I know is it had hazard markings on it, was approaching us at the same time. So, and it's going full speed at 70 miles per hour as well too. So not only did we just get hit from behind at 70 miles per hour, but now we were looking at facing getting hit a second time from a semi truck. And so all I hear is the shriek of my wife screaming from the side of the car. And in that same moment that I heard her scream, I'm turning the key, I'm twisting it. Meanwhile, I keep looking down and looking back up to see how close the truck is getting to us. Within inches of the truck literally hitting us, I felt a massive amount of pressure slide and move our car out of the way. Now, mind you, when we got hit, the car shut off. The engine was not working. I was turning over the key in the ignition and pressing down on the accelerator. Nothing was happening. The only thing that was happening was that our car would cut on, the radio and all that stuff would cut on, but nothing else was happening. But in this moment, the car slides out of the way. And all I still remember till this day is hearing my wife screaming, not knowing if that was going to be the last time that we were going to be on earth. We got out the car. Of course, I did the classic, touching myself like, okay, I'm still on earth. We still here. And our next reaction was to get our daughter out of the car. We got her out of the car. She was safe and sound. She wasn't hurt. Nothing was wrong. She was okay. And when I say that, that was a moment where it didn't matter who was around, who was watching, who was looking. That was the first time that I publicly gave God praise, speaking in tongues, crying, and just giving thanks and praise unto the Lord because of what he did for us in that moment. So not only did he save us once, but then he went and saved us a second time, all in one day. And so I wanted to share my testimony with all of you all because I feel like it's extremely important that we share what God has done for us, because in this space of witnessing and proclaiming the goodness of Jesus Christ and his love and his grace that he has for us, some people aren't going to understand why we serve God with everything that we have. Some people aren't going to understand, well, what has he done for you that just makes you want to be so willing to serve him? And this is why. Because in a moment when I should have been dead, my wife should have been dead, my daughter should have been dead, the Watkins family should have ceased to exist, he gave us another chance. He gave us another chance at life. And on today, being that I'm now 32, he's given me yet another chance to see life and to give him praise, to give him glory, and to give him the worship and the honor that is due him. Guys, don't take your life for granted. Don't think that you have your whole life ahead of you and everything is just whatever and you can just do whatever and you're gonna be okay. Guys, time is winding up. And that might not be what you might think it means, because that means that your personal time clock is winding up. My personal time clock is winding up. We don't know how much longer we have on this earth as individuals and as we approach the coming of the Lord. So all I encourage is that get right with the Lord. Seek him with everything that you got, despite what your mom say, despite what your friends say, despite what your boyfriend, your girlfriend say, despite what your husband, wife say, despite what anybody might try to tell you. Seek the Lord while he may be found. Give your life over to Jesus, because he is the only one that can save you. Much love. Peace.